All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming to Season 4, Episode 4, the last reading in Peach Mag's 4th year of publishing. My name is Rochelle Tormino, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Peach Mag and your host for this evening. Tonight is our first ever virtual episode, which means we've got almost our whole team of editors here for the first time in Peach history, and we get to hear from 6 Peach contributors who didn't have to come all the way to Buffalo to read. Sasha Debevec-McKenney, Ivanna Baranova, Brad Casey, Zack Blackwood, Jamie Hood, and Fargo Tbakhi. This episode is free, but if you have the means, we are suggesting a $5 to $10 donation to one of the mutual aid funds and other organizations that the readers have suggested to us. Throughout their readings, we'll drop links to those funds in the chat. Tonight, we're also maintaining a policy of no hatefulness in the chat. We reserve the right to bounce you if we find your comments bigoted or mean-spirited in any way. Please remain on mute and with your video turned off, but do use the chat to interact with one another and our readers. Closed captions are available at the bottom of the screen. You'll see an icon to be able to turn them on. Before I introduce our first reader, we have a couple of housekeeping items. We are extending today's deadline to apply for next season's Peach Seed Apprenticeship for emerging editors, our program for seniors in high school to develop their editorial and curatorial skills. Peach Seeds are given a monthly spot at our online journal to fill with work by other young writers and artists, as well as opportunities to book youth performers at our reading series and publish them in our print anthologies. Not only are we extending the deadline to apply, but we're also planning to announce that we're opening up the program to teens living outside of Western New York as we move into what is looking like a totally virtual 5th season. We'll drop a link to more info in the chat. If you have any young writers or artists in your life, please share that news with them. Today is also the final day to participate in our month-long campaign to donate book sales to bail and mutual aid funds. In previous weeks, we donated to the Louisville Community Bail Fund, Buffalo's Legal Bail and Organizing Fund, and the Emergency Release Fund in New York. This week, we're donating to the Atlanta Solidarity Fund. And while we're totally sold out of most of our books, we do still have copies of With You available. I'll drop the link to that listing in the chat. All proceeds are going to go to help protesters in Atlanta. And now I'm excited to introduce our first reader. Sasha Debevec-McKenney received her MFA in poetry from New York University, where she was the 2018 Rana Jaffe Graduate Fellow. In the fall, she will be the 2020 to 2021 J.C. and Ruth Hall's Poetry Fellow at the University of Wisconsin Institute for Creative Writing. She minored in American Studies at Beloit College. Her poems have appeared in the Yale Review, Nashville Review, Peach Mag, and elsewhere. She was born in Hartford, Connecticut. Please welcome Sasha.
Oh my gosh, hi, I'm so happy to be here. I'm just gonna read my poems. So let's see, I guess what you have to know, although I hate when people are like, here's a bunch of information for my poem, but so in 2008, MTV aired a season of The Challenge where they did like The Challenge, The Island. And so it's kind of like The Challenge and Survivor mixed together. And there were these hidden keys on the island, and you have to have a key to like get to the final boat race. It's like this very elaborate thing. Okay, so that's all you need to know for this poem. It's called, I'm gonna take a deep breath like I try to do because I always get so excited. Okay, Evelyn's speech from the elimination ceremony in episode 5, Ev vs. the Island of the Real World Road Rules Challenge, The Island. It's a funny game we're playing. 1 minute you think you've got it all figured out, and then there's a twist and it blows everything you thought out of the water. There's an alliance that has pretty much dominated every decision that has been made. These people play the game with nothing but selfishness, dishonesty, and cowardice. They stomp around this island and bully all the rest of us into submitting to any decision that they'd like to make. Tonight, what I've got to say to you guys is fuck you, fuck your alliance. The members of this alliance are Kenny, Johnny, Dunbar, Paula, and Johanna, and every one of us would be naive to think that we are somehow part of their plan. The truth is, they would stab any one of us in the back for the victory. Now that I'm throwing myself out there, I'm going after your captain. Johnny, I'm taking your key. If you want it back, then you can fight for it and win it back. Okay, that always pumps me up. I thought I'd pump us all up. Okay, poetry's everywhere. That's what I think. Okay, so this is my long poem. It's longer, but I will, it'll be good. It's called I Don't Have a Racist Bone in My Body. Okay, my ankle break support group on Facebook was actually very supportive. When you get your cast off, they say, oh, look, another butterfly coming out of her shell. 6 weeks leg elevated, 6 weeks no walking, 6 weeks physical therapy. My father said, in Civil War times, they would have cut your leg off, Sasha. My favorite lie is sorry. I have ice cream in my bag. I have to go, it's melting. The night I broke my ankle, I say I wasn't that drunk, but the further away I get from it, the drunker I know I was. People keep saying I don't have a racist bone in my body. I've had a few racist bones in my body, if you know what I mean. Chris, we should do more than politic. Malcolm X, if you pour too much cream in it, you won't even know you ever had coffee. Playboy magazine, do Black women throw themselves at you? John Mayer, I don't think I open myself up to it. My dick is sort of like a white supremacist. I said I was done with bartenders, but Chris owned the bar. The break I blacked out, but for months after, the pain made noise. I jump at the sight of my own shadow every day. I eat ice cream every day. I sent my body away. I never finished physical therapy. My ankle break support group was infiltrated by men who wanted to paint our toenails red and rub themselves on our scars. Red bone is mostly now a porn word, meaning a light-skinned Black woman probably being fucked from behind. Military surgeons in the Union Army performed over 30,000 amputations during the Civil War. Me, tell that guy we don't say Black Manhattan anymore. We say African American Manhattan, LOL. Chris, you should hear what I call it when you're not at the bar. You have to eat ice cream with your smallest spoon. When I'm in love, I want to take a picture of everything. I'm certain Chris filmed us without asking. I have 4 bars and 2 screws. Nobody will ever really know how drunk I was. I lost the tweet that was like, mixed kids with white moms are born morally corrupt. Chris opened the curtains and said to the street, good morning, Frog Hollow. I am your gentrifier. We don't know the numbers of Confederate amputations. Medical records went up in flames as the Davis administration fled Richmond. I need attention, 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 I need ice cream. People say they don't have a racist bone in their body. They do. In high school, I got my bus driver fired for saying he liked his women like his coffee light and weak. I will never feel sexier than leaning over the bar for Chris to give me a bump. Never. In Wisconsin, I only had white friends, and when I couldn't walk, I only had white friends to take care of me. I learned to love my body by sending nudes. Is it easier to break racist bones? Are they weaker or stronger? In summer 2012, I took the detour off Jefferson Davis Highway to see where Stonewall Jackson's arm was buried. On his 40th birthday, I blew him for 40 minutes. If you have health insurance, it really is worth the attention, breaking a bone. Stonewall's men thought his body would survive without the arm, but it didn't. White girls carried my breve lattes from counter to table, moved the chair from patio to shower, sat around my couch, a circle below me. Sure, stand up for what's right, but what about lying down with your face in the mattress and your ass up? I told a girl in cast and crutches, one day you won't even remember you broke it. You'll just use your legs. You can touch my ankle if you want. You can feel where the metal starts. Everything I've done to get better, every spoonful of self-improvement I took for a man. It is nice to throw the ice cream lid away immediately, knowing you will never close the container. I don't think the body lets us remember physical pain, the girl replied. Okay, And then this is my last poem, and it's really short. And it's called, it's called Your Brain is Not a Prison, but it's like with an exclamation mark, all caps. Your brain is not a prison. A prison is the only place that's a prison. Maybe your brain is a beehive, or better, an ant's nest, a spin class, the sand stuck in an hourglass. Your brain is like, stop it. So you practice driving with your knees. You get all the way out to the complex of Little League fields. You get chicken tenders with 4 kinds of mustard, spicy, whole grain, Dijon, yellow. You walk from field to field. You watch yourself play every position. You circle each identical game, each predictable outcome. On one field you catch, on one field you pitch. Your center field, your left. Sometimes you have steady hands and French braids. Sometimes you slide too hard into second on purpose. You wait for the bottom of the ninth to lay your blanket out in the sun. Admit it, Sasha, the sun helps. Today, the red team hits the home run. Red floods every field. A wasp lands on your thigh. You know this feeling. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for having me.
Holy shit. Thank you, Sasha. Holy shit. The chat is popping off. Thank you so much for getting that started for us. Our next reader tonight is Ivana Baranova. Ivana is the author of Confirmation Bias out with Metatron Press. Her work has appeared or is forthcoming in ATM Magazine, Cosmonauts Avenue, The Poetry Project, Newest York, and elsewhere. She lives between Brooklyn and Los Angeles. Welcome, Ivana.
Everyone. Thank you, Rochelle. I also just want to flag, like, my Venmo's there if you want it, like, if you maybe like just have a bunch of money and you want to tip me, but I really would appreciate if people would donate to Activation Residency. Their links are there. Check it out. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna get into it. Jupiter, Florida. I don't want to be the celebrity of your small town. Sick here, someone who would yield, forgiving, abducted. I see a woman like me and say, start running. Bless her like a waving hand clears dust. I miss my old life, just not enough to want it back. If I say it was a devastation, how could I be more direct? Type an explanation, but the backspace audits itself. It's not rumination if it culminates a plan of action, a permitted rage, an efficient movement, some ceremony of unconscious induction. Only a calendar could doom me to enclosure. Only silence gets me sprinting for the door. Heartening to think death will feel just like exhaling. How 2 opposing entities could eventualize surrender. Love doesn't end, just keeps growing like a cut. I'll be apologizing forever till it's good enough. This next one is unofficially for Brad Casey. Though we can make it official, maybe we can talk about that after the reading. Hey, empath. Shut up. It's a perfect song. The Home Depot parking lot at sunset. My heart may lose, but I'll never go home. I get the melting candle feeling, can't go back, not willing to be delivered from frivolous use. Throat chakra violence, or worse. Shut up, stand still, or the moment will eclipse you. A schedule would make me time's own guillotine. When I'm outside your house, I feel prayer on my hands, the start of a lonely secret. What even is a promise ring? I once dated a bag of chips. Full circle to worship nothing, the power of a limited edition. Y'all know the bag of chips relationship, y'all know. It's fine, we can admit that here. Brave space. Clean hair, willing heart. Hotter you couldn't be, hallucinogenic, employee of the Lord, the core radius of incantation, rotating gospel like a mild elastic glare. I get free at the rolling digits of your muted hour. I have no forgetting. When a breath presses like code, embeds the soft wind of our soon departure, visage of a perfect siren blares. The nervous heat of all sound, translucent, lawless, cures the glitch, mends the fracture, frees the metronomic head. I only want to seal the glue of inner havoc, crack the whistle on time's habitual ascent. My border marks the interlude of paradise, spree of gore. Still a hymn without ransom is only a song. What silo could I fear if orbiting this seraphic planet, combusting scraps of surplus air that rain like logic? No plague could halt the body solid. I drop vertigo just sitting in the chair. Preset. Collapse never anticipates its subsequent form. A joke about essential error incites my innermost defenses. Thin cut feeling like gauze, the grief of organization, individuated, exhaustive. I find a swimsuit the color of my purported aura, more presets for the casket. When I outlast the seasons, when I engender what bores, cultivating an internal climate of zeros. Is it my dim light retina, my near sight circuit? Shit hits the fan with harmonic awe. One motion removes doubt, the other absorbs it. I see something in me murdered every day, a geometry of calm, resuscitation. Parade. Don't tell me I'm a good person. Who would redeem a binary so impossible as that? Few can even help the mannequin of their affect. An abiding procedure is a limitless chore. I understand. When I'm done pretending to, I play dead. Always hiding in the bathroom, talking superstructure, hurling at the lid. My mind the obstinate function of its own endurance. Battery. Numinous. How can I revive the outstretched demand of your correction? Mourning is all I can do to right the place within me from the place within me that is despondent, not the sight of time's magnetic intolerance, but aspiring capable to digress the suction cup of fuck. No prevailing sanitation. In which language do I keep silent? If when I breathe, I opt to hear my God, terrifically listless, only polishing the caskets. I thought 100 cops in a poem meant 100 cops in caskets, at whose decibel matched could delegate the repulsion. Heaven is only the juncture, the battery replying, two light flash at daybreak, slang the minimal, imbibing from a glow, a seeing cell. If you strike yourself, incinerate everything. Quiet in the fire, quiet in the body, quiet in the bag. This is my last poem. Outside the psychic shop. Pacing can't move me at the speed you're wanting words. I mouth a cue, you jump the turnstile. Each time I speak, a new payment. Face fucking the final moments of my lunch break is the only profit I could adore. Transactions are unrelenting. I stare straight in the eyes of your collector, chugging grapefruit seltzer under rain. Grief hits like a punch, enough with closed eyes to call this living. Looking soft to march for the Lucy shop, cop an afternoon seat on the downtown train. Your artist wife will never feel peace in your house. She will always want to be alone. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Ivana. That was amazing. Oh my God. All right, let's keep it going. Our next reader tonight is Brad Casey. Brad Casey is the author of the novel The Handsome Man. I recommend it. I just finished it and I really loved it. And the poetry collection, The Idiot on Fire, out with Metatron Press. His work has appeared in Hobart, The Puritan, The Heart House Review, Peach Mag, and more. And currently he lives in Toronto. Welcome, Brad.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me? Am I in here? So I guess I'll say a couple quick things before reading. So yeah, I have a book that's out. I'll put a link to it in the chat if anyone is interested. There's some excerpts from it. So I'm going to read a few poems. Some of them are coming out with Ghost City Press in September, but more of them are newer poems that I've been writing. I've been using poetry sort of as a retreat right now, retreating from everything. So I've been writing love poems, and because there's no way to meet anybody right now, I've been directing those love poems at my roommate. So this is a few of those. So I'll just get right into it. Born in the 12th house, Bowie and Kim. Read my natal chart, baby, the sickle moon thin. Born in the 12th house, Gertrude and me, forging our bodies on cookies and cream. Born in the 12th house, conceived on a whim, the mother of everything bathing within. Bathe in the river, sunless and slim. Lavender fishes swarm and they swim. Arbutus branches lodged in their teeth, like dogs in constellations. Like every sun in every universe is a dog, and they're barking dog songs to you. Do you hear them? Dye my hair blonde, your tank top cut low, our indoor life quiet as tropic gardenia Guatemala wide. You and I writing summer poems, the sea outside our door, not this condo sprawl, Toronto wave of pain that warms champagne like. Tattoo anything you want across my chest, as big as my chest. Tattoo the word baby there, I dare you. To leave and never find ourselves, like a $40 cowboy boots kind of life, a Frank Ocean soundtrack kind of life, a motorcycle alive between our legs kind of life. A loud, low-lit room, and a look like it's on. To do this forever, and by this I mean nurture my capacity for tenderness through you, nurture you, feeling and knowing in mirror existence, which is how I feel you love me, and I know I love you too, and I love you. Let's say it together now, you, the listener, and me, the reader, out loud. I love you. And it's New Mexico again, earthly heaven, every aloe, the stray dogs of our love there now unbowing. Because New Mexico will be there forever. Even when it's gone, it's New Mexico-ness living on. I sing something vibey, a queer bar karaoke, eyes closed, only our friends notice, only our friends clap. The world wondering, should we kiss? This cool kid flirting like, so are you queer or? Take all my debt and all my money too. Find a new way because what else could we do? If only you had been there when MC showed me the monarch butterfly cocoons he saved. Gentle aquarium color in a room all their own. All scrying when he set them free. He said, it takes generations for the monarch to get where they need to be, just like us. For you to understand why I'll lose this man to you at my favorite bar in Neukölln. This handsome man on a windowsill, smoking, reading the smallest book. Next to him, the small scrap of a dog. That's it, man. All the beautiful people of the world passing by. The air, the freshly brushed tongue of someone you love circling your mouth. And later meet a cute couple, all swayed in silk and leather, the sweat of their tattoos dancing wet against each other. and I'm the least difficult of men. All I want is hot chip and lye. All I want is a motorcycle and enough money for enough gas to get me through this enough of a world, this enough life. Coffee in the quiet morning, windless mind of a wild earth yearning. You reading in the next room, vibing, vibrating, on the little bump of coke you do, saying, having a coke with you, and I say is better than, and you point to the Narcan spray, always with the blood oranges maybe gone bad. You make me feel so good. All I want is a head and a nap on my chest, and you're napping in bed, and I tiptoe through the apartment, that's fine. Making breakfast, doing laundry, waiting for my after shower body to dry, for you to smell me like a flower. All I want is your fingers licked clean of the meal that I made you wafted through my hair, an emotion as if to say enough. Take it away, this is too much. Thank you, to kiss you like I've come home. 30 years, you say, will always be that way. Always loser 30-year-olds, too old for good fun, too young to hold on, like a sad but on fire Bruce Springsteen song. And listen, let me be clear. I'm here to wipe the strawberry tuft of shaving cream off your ear that you missed while shaving. I kiss you on your soft cheek and I'm happy. I'm happy with a rough cheek too. I'm happy with you. Wake you up from the floor where you're sleeping when the light from the window turns turquoise Utah, the Los Angeles spark, pignon transparent in the Canada dark. Closest the spot in the sky, either plane or imploding star. The dust of a scar you never could face, and a bottle on my desk I've been saving. Pour like the ashes of you on my ocean-dripping body, becoming a foal, becoming Emily Carr's macaque in the snow, becoming the second daughters of Job. As I fall again erratic of my unknown boyhood, everything happening as only it could. The credits were rolling on the movie we'd watched, and she leaned forward to take it out of full screen mode, and I picked up my phone to a text from you saying, I miss touch so much, and she closed the screen saying, I'm going to take a quick bath, kissing my forehead, the summer wind of her bell sleeves caressing the walls of our hallway, my voice after her, and okay. I wrote back, I do too, and you said, show me. In our room, my clothes on the floor, the red lampshade made the hardwood and inside pink, reflecting onto my body, prostrate and nude, my arm reaching out, my camera phone staring, my heart like a bull born in the sun, fully formed. I send it to you, and the sound of the bathwater draining. My phone turned off now, my body in bed. She lays next to me, very not you. I smell like I've never smelled, like falling in love again and again and again. And there are stones in the Elbe River that mark historic droughts. They're called hunger stones. One of them, now visible, reads, Wenn du mich siehst, dann wein, which means, if you see me, weep. From the open window, the city sound like spinning plates. An asteroid called 2019 OK passed between the Earth and the Moon yesterday. In the morning, I'm listening to Joni Mitchell sing, Why'd you have to get so drunk and lead me on that way? And Leonard Cohen died today. In the back room of this cafe, I'm alone and I'm watching a couple getting married. The flower of their love they swallow for fun. The husband is smiling, the bride calls me son. We're French kissing chaos daily, now more than ever. Now more than ever, Leonard Cohen is dead. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brad. Those were so sweet. We're all in love with our roommates. All right, next up we have Zack Blackwood. Zack Blackwood is a poet and contemporary performance curator in Philadelphia. He is the author of Sexy, Unique, Hollow Point, out now from Glowworm Press. He has poems published in Peach Mag, Oculum, Bedfellows Magazine, Maudlin House, and elsewhere, and he is available on the World Wide Web at Black Boom. Welcome, Zack.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Zack. This isn't really information. It's like banter. I hope that's okay. I do that. Because I'm dumb. No, I'm kidding. It would be nice to sell my book. It's called Sexy, Unique, Hollow Point. It's about my fucking birthday, like 2 years ago when I was in Los Angeles to hang out with this dude I dated on and off for 10 years. And then we broke up at Sir restaurant, like from Vanderpump Rules. And I was kind of already writing about Vanderpump Rules when it happened, which is perfect. Okay, what else? Today sucked ass. I've been so excited for this all day. I've been feeling weird echoes of this really awful thing that happened yesterday. Some alt-right weirdo like DM'd me and was like, hello, Charisma Carpenter, because my handle on Twitter is Charisma Carpenter Vivo. And they wanted me to appear on something. And I was like, I'm not Charisma Carpenter. And they're like, it's fine. We want you then. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like this is like how you get doxxed. So that was stressful. But today's a new day and I feel good. And I'm going to read some poems. I'm in a city. So I'm sorry if there are any like mysterious fireworks noises or like anything else. This poem's called Handled Air. In Zack's poem, he says, days without healing. And it personally feels sickening, like a wave ringing a supple milk glass bell, a weepy voicemail through the drywall, a finger on the psycho killer button. Some people see space and feel cold, or they Alex Mack themselves inside of that grand drape, feet sticking out the bottom. Maybe everything is pretension. A water balloon end for a belly button, a body as a whole stucco house, a lifelong double dare. Seen the bounty of it and felt scared. I know you craft an obsession, my dear husbands, tangled in strips of paper, like cash stuck to calf meat. An instant, the paper turns highlighter orange nylon and the tension snaps, hornier than it might have before, the sparse Foley music. Are you ever the passenger in a big truck fully turned to Esplanade under a hottie who drives? Felt the sun on your skin and felt dog-eared when it's gone to the grocery store, wanted to take everything home and keep it safe. Ominous voice, erotic wig, romantic wig, a ghost of Lalabo hanging around, my neck slims to fit a single palm. The bed folds us up like two lozenges. Lozenge is really the name for the shape. I am truly obsessed with how I can see for miles after acupuncture. Healthy posture feels natural and rewarding for weeks. My first job was at a haunted house where State Road 436 turned to Altamont Drive. Some invisible butcher curtain in the intersection, some ultra-fine establisher, some staticky dead hand signal recast. Anyway, a woman brought her own snake from home, and I dressed in all black, pushing my creepy hands through a four-way stretch. My job title was Nightmare. I am passed into your hands like a football, like a champagne neck on a saber, mercury rolling in lines in a palm. I could shed my human skin and you would pick it up like it wasn't disgusting, like it was wrapped in paper, and ask me where I want you to put it. This poem's called Lathe. Some massive cinematic 4 minutes. I'm in Midlothian touching a holy well. A whole day smokes like an ailment. A whole day isn't anything. Write Lexapro in all my handwritings and every color pen until I feel less urgently still. I'm getting sick for the first time, like I thought I'd been sick, and now I realize I was tired or faking it. Every time I feel like a fabulist. My every poetry disappointment is ocean water, clear on the always fake burning of my dipshit eyes. In bright living sod of a country, I'd read an article about forest baths. I'm that emotional register only in airplanes, in it a feeling that films on the corners of your lips, kind of viscous. I was half doing my hypnosis podcast like I can be a better person. Right here. Literally laying down, doing jack shit. It is exhausting to continue to be me. and fly thousands of miles and continue to be me, flirting with Gaulier grads, like a wind-up toy of me, pedaling across my face. I'm still laying there for my health. Can a living person with the cartoon name Paula Sweet truly hypnotize me, an intellectual? I don't even remember what this is supposed to be. There is fully an advertisement in the middle of my trance, freshly untranced. I fantasize on a different layer of myself. I have sent the text message, "It was nice to see you," before I left. Embarrassed on my own reptile, a disturbing hugeness in nature. I think the forest bath and the foaming long lichen of a country will be my deeply personal sensation. I'll be full lizard there, like only can see you if you're moving away or toward my strike zone. Another sword going rancid in turf. Not like you want something for it. Feel bloodied in how I didn't finish the poem about petting a mean dog who won't let you stop. I just wrote a poem around the outside, the conceit of it, like a dog whistle, like a behavioral instigant. A twitch in the air, a very, very slight inclusion. The context collapses so slowly, it's pleasant even, a slab of ice, grand jeté into precipitous crockpot terror, just cackling, doing donuts in the parking lot of my body. I think I am so funny when I lie to a man and call it my memories run together and the pen never leaves the page. There's a stain on the heel of my palm. My whole body becomes a streak. Any landing feels violent. Someone claps. Thank you everybody so much. I have one poem left. Yes, one poem left. This has been so deeply lovely, and I'm sorry I'm not Charisma Carpenter, but this has really been fantastic, and I just deeply appreciate like everybody. Thank you, Rochelle. This has been really cute and nice, and it's not even over. Get into it. This poem's called My Zone, Your Hoodie. It smells like your dog all over me. Body shrinks out the air like, wow, I can get it now, how an interval congeals on us. Wonder if I WebMD'd that feeling, like a rag of Colt's teeth, coming honeymoons. One day we'll call this the Lanternfly Summer. We all reactivated our Facebooks and got out of bed, and that was fun and not sad or scary or chaotic. A woman posted a close-up, motion blurry selfie with the caption, "I kill every day." And we felt safer. A tidal wave of moonlight levels, us cleaning selfish off of everything, pushing freighters off the edge like marbles. A system of tangled metal arms actualized into the shape of our double body. A song covered so many times its authorship turns. Me on one toe, invisible hoop turning, whole body turned, rubber spatula forming to contours. In what ways do we talk each other into social capital or carve tunnels through whole trees for cars? We've only been in bed for 1 year today. We've only just pried open, found mutuality, drank the driest risotto under $25, turned to steel balls on the fins of each other, felt the horizon tilt, caffeine dizzy, nicotine dizzy. I'm missing you in Lausanne. Very funny, very nervous, text a photo of the Swiss Alps, the big bald trees on the banks of Lake Geneva, a giant foosball game. But all of the athletes have rabbit heads. We would pretend to hate it here. This is where all the Evian in the world came from. A real co-star notification inflates itself into existence and forgotten memory at once. There's a place in the world where the rain is so acidic your sense of smell goes flat over time. A flower could be any flower at all. I told you about the smell of ozone before rain. It all comes back in, onto itself. Wait, did I lie? Do I have one more poem? Oh my God, I do. I'm so sorry. Is that okay? Someone tell me if that's okay. Rochelle? Okay.
More.
I have one more. This one's called Stranger at Local Tavern in Terminal F. That's an airport bar. You knew that. It says Terminal F. I'm sorry. This poem's called Stranger at Local Tavern, Terminal F. I lay a napkin over the top of a pint glass, peel it unfolded, and tell you it's better wet for the purpose. There's an opportunity here to say something about the trick looking like a cartoon ghost, but I trust you to scry that. Another lover type intersection. In New York in January, on my way to Australia. Each time I enter a bar and my glasses fog up all the way, I feel layers of helplessness. 100-foot scarf, a dream where each time I brush my hair, it grows a black train. Flying up new and niche pornographies where people dress and undress again and again. Thread the basting stitch of human desire, denude completion. That's what we're doing, turning down the room tone so soft, it's only technically not nothing. We're feeling around without eyes for the goalpost, membrane, division of binary states, so thin it's only technically not nothing. When might we, all of we, call a kink a kink? Scale up sums of what we've done into who we are. Do you still believe that together we are a T-ball in a way, this thing seeping like infused, subjugant to something else? Scry this. 3 days ago, I was kissing an ambulance driver, lapping banked goodwill up out of his skin. It's important for me to support first responders. Now I'm so jet lagged, I can't stop throwing up in my sleep, shuffling like a space alien, thin bones made of something none of us really get. Set up, gnawing its own punchline, cackling viscera rendered in Miami teal. I feel nothing all day until a cab driver sings under his breath. Anything you want, anything you need, anything you so desire. I was born to a live studio audience in Orlando, Florida, I remind myself. Flex a leg and step with a dog over an exploded deep battery. Past my dream car parked on fire. These nostalgic omens of millennial burnout are getting less inspired. Fuck me gently, it's a funny thing to travel far and return and find your life and the things you wanted for your life, piled up in the huge blue bags, dreams growing cloven teeth and tusks, dreams hitting their freakish gremlin puberties. Can't wait to be in Philadelphia. My ears will pop, and you, and you, and you, and you were there. Thank you guys.
Oh my God, so good. On behalf of the whole chat, we are so glad that you are you and not Charisma Carpenter, because you're way better. Thank you so much for that, Zach. That was great. Next, we're going to hear from Jamie Hood. Jamie is the author of How to Be a Good Girl, which is forthcoming in November from Grieveland. Currently, she is completing a hybrid manuscript on sexual assault called Rape Girl, as well as a book of essays and also a multi-genre project of poetry and photography entitled Sexual Dependencies, which alludes to Nan Goldin's iconic photo series. She lives, writes, and bartends in Brooklyn. Welcome, Jamie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Rochelle, can you just let me know if my volume and everything is okay?
You're perfect.
Okay, good. Sorry, I've been so nervous all day because I'm only good with technology when I have a boyfriend who's kind of like walking me through all of it. So I was like really worried about the Zoom call. Anyway, it's really, really lovely to be here, and everyone has been so great. And I'm going to keep this kind of short, or like the banter short. So I'm going to read one long-ish poem from How to Be a Good Girl, and then I'm going to read 4 short sequences from Sexual Dependencies. They're all untitled, so I'll just separate them by doing that. Let me adjust real quick. Okay. Also, all I've been doing is writing bedroom poems, and so it feels very appropriate to be reading to people from my bed. Okay, so this first one is called a loving interlude in which a man instructs me in the proper turning over of the record. When N spanks me, splayed across his knee, I am an assignation, free beneath his palm, opened wide, wide as the pupils of God are wide. I am his good girl. I reside in his thwacking. He knows and says he knows I hide what I want. Still, I pride myself in my pleasure. I have earned this punishment of the bad girl, as though reversed, a card pulled from the tarot pack. Adjacency of meaning, a blockage unstoppered, I kneel, my knees bear this baptism. The oracle requests a rolled towel. Even in supplication are we choosy when allowed. Here am I panting enough to confess there have been days who hang in me, overripely stone fruiting, where what I need still more than satisfaction is the relief of prostration. As at times when I, longing, lie beneath the hand of a man, he slakes the undoings at my center. I am dusking, a cicada, a trumpeting of cherubs, winged and deathly, and then hush, the world and the dulled throb of need. My ass pinks and begs, my slick mouth begs, it whimpers. My opening whimpers under him. I am widening, I am open, and I am open, and I am open, and I am open, I am open, I am the pupil of God, and it is God who knows what I am become. Okay. So, yeah, these are, I keep calling them short poems, but they're not. I can't write short poems. So this is like a 50-page poem that I'm just like breaking into things that I'm pretending are short poems. So these are 4 sequences from Sexual Dependencies. Love. Silent, I am sitting on the edge of our tub. I soap your hands now in the surgical manner. Palms, tops, in-betweens, beneath nails, fingers, and etc. We count the seconds. Can I hum the song I want to marry you to? Baby, please don't laugh. I know I'm a joke, one I didn't make. The light of the bathroom is all bluish, sick, sanitized, and wash of night terrors. I live in your light. This is how it has always been, my bear. How can I say that I have nothing now and need you to stay here, even if it just means on this earth? The night travels long. 4 a.m. is the woman who fucked you, and I would let her if it should keep you. Tub water settles, intemperate, all murky with bodies, sludge, oh, sediment of our outside world's insidious slip inward. Pull our plug, please. Come lay with me. I would drag myself from bed each morning to clear your hair out of the damn drain. I love and love and love and love and love and then interlude. Later, leave-taking. One tires of twilights, exhausts of bedposts, lust coordinates. Annihilations of wedding photos tunnel into me. I hoard my breath, I pass out, I death sleep. In the night, distend with phantoms whose names could loom more gold from shit, think I need more. than weed to undo this dull constriction of what's dead, done for. Today I put two together with two and understood you would have a baby with the other girl. If I rest my palm at my hollowness, my belly bottom, if I should pray, God, help, and all the rest, still you shall have gone. And who could blame you? Some barren bitch at some story's ending, some bird brain, some none. And this is the last one. And should I tell you, love, I am writing rape poems again. The soft animal of my body, sons, and some awful mirroring of dumbed history, a cartographic stumped speech to conquest. And there is no soft animal of my body. It's all meat. Meat untouched for months is carrion, rot. Leave it for scavenge. I think to ask if the valley recalls its inverse, fullness. I should become tectonic, shifting my parameters in the bald sight of God, who is blank, absent as any damned father. Still, I shall perform, still lay legs open, still beg or scrub the floors till my nail beds throb, paronychia creeping red along all my edges, all my dilutions force my genuflection. Love poems are for girls who can be loved. The star deadens, some nebula of light snuffing itself out. Thank you so much.
Whew. Jesus, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Jamie. Everyone in the chat is just dead and destroyed. So fucking beautiful. All right, I can't believe it, but we're already at our last reader for the night, Fargo Tbakhi. Fargo is a queer Palestinian-American performance artist. He is the winner of the 2018 Ghassan Kanafani Resistance Arts Prize, a Pushcart nominee, and a 2020 Desert Nights Rising Stars Fellow. His writing is published or forthcoming in Strange Horizons, Fog Lifter, Hobart, The Shallow Ends, Mitzna, Peach Mag, and elsewhere. His performance work has been programmed at Outsider Fest, Intersection Solo Fest, and the Allwyn House Monsters Ball. And he has received support from the Arizona Commission on the Arts. Please welcome Fargo. So excited.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm so glad to be here at the end of a really incredible reading. So thank you all so much. These poems, written on land stolen from the Akamel Odom tribe, are attempts at return. For Palestinians, return to the land, the earth, which was stolen from us, is vital. The historian Mezna Kato suggests that just as we understand the Nakba is a structure, a continuous process of colonization, so then our return is also a structure. Return is material, the return of specific bodies to a specific place, and it's a way of being in the world. And the Palestine to which we hope to return is also both material, it's a specific soil, and it's also relational. My Palestine is both my grandparents' homeland and also a world in which Black folks can move, breathe, and live freely, in which indigenous caretakers across the world reclaim their land, in which capitalism is destroyed, property is destroyed, in which queer and trans folks are honored and supported and loved. And if that world is my Palestine, then my return must be a structure of working and living which gets us there. And that means working towards the abolition of prisons and policing, the abolition of capitalism, the abolition of the structures of cis-hetero patriarchy. Palestine will be free when all of us are free. May my poems forever be spells which in some small way help to create that freedom. And so I'll jump into poems. Ode to Futurity, ending in a line from Brief Encounter, 1945. Here's to futurity, to some existence projected forward onto a wall, like brief encounter in the basement, while I mouth the words along with Celia Johnson, oh, those doorway eyes, and a little light sneaks on in through those little porthole windows we have, and here's to those little windows. And to windows, I like how they're clear and still and get dirty so easy, and I like how most of the time all those words describe me too. I like the way Trevor Howard's voice sounds, describing anything really, the coal in a person's lungs, the way capital crushed a person into lungs like that. And here's to lungs that keep on working until they don't, like my grandfather's, which worked enough to see him through the Depression, just a kid. His father left to make sure the family could get benefits, and then one day my grandfather's lungs stopped working. All that labor unpaid for, unacknowledged, till the body realized nothing lives without it. And I wish Trevor Howard would take some dust from my eyes so I could blink and see through tears the lovely world, all its smog and violence and love, its love and all the ways we are kept away from that love. And here's to love, to May You Bury Me, my Bubba and his desperation, and we're all not working now. And isn't it clear how nothing lives without us? And right now I'm dreaming of tomorrow, the next day, the next year, my grandfather's next year, his first year, my Bubba's tomorrow, his today. And sometimes I'm afraid he might in fact bury me, but I choose to believe in the power of Arab love, and that someday before his lungs go on their strike, we might all of us go on our own. So when I'm cradling my Bubba's head, his hair silver like a black and white movie, the end of our long encounter, I'll maybe do so in a world we both longed for, all of us acknowledged, all of us closer to God and therefore closer to each other. And here's to futurity. I promise to myself that my lungs will work until they don't, that I'll thank them every day and soak in a little light from my beautiful, stupid little porthole windows. I'll be clear and a little dirty. I'll be Celia Johnson, and I'll feel too much and remind myself this can't last. Misery can't last. Nothing lasts, really. Neither happiness nor despair. Travel log. Visit Palestine. After Stephen Duong's poem Travel Blog, which is published in Peach Mag. When they let me out of that black site on the Mercury settlement, I roam a spell. Break knuckles for a laugh. Try to phone my mother, but no answer. Time stretches out and I do too. I fall in and out of a good thing. Thank God they never fixed the gravity, for my knees are piss poor after the beatings and the lightness helps. Somebody offers me transport to Earth. Decline. I spend my days drinking and trying to get close enough to someone with a passport to rob them. No luck. Days were, I used to be honest. Days changed. Try my mother again. Still no answer. I wonder if she's floating somewhere outside of range. Visit Abu Khaled outside New Jerusalem. He is dying, so I pray with him, then pocket some cash when he's asleep. So something broke in me. So what? My feeling is God never wanted me on this planet, and so he isn't paying too close attention. Back at the bar, someone asks me about mercy. I say it is like ghosts, a thing you want to believe in, but never can feel you deserve. They tell me, no, it's a drink. Have I tried it? No. I sleep the sleep of a bad person. I believe the things they say of me on this planet of cells so close to the sun. In dreams, I see my mother aboard the good ship Palestine. A bucket of bolts, but it's ours, and it drifts, it moves. And I'm running towards the port, but my knees split like knuckles. Somebody asks me about home. I say I've never tried it. Mom's at the porthole, smiling like she's happy, and I'm at the door, fumbling through my wallet, hoping I've held on to enough to go inside and stay. This poem is called For Semi Abu Diak. Semi was a Palestinian prisoner who died this year in an Israeli prison. So this poem is for Semi Abu Diak and every prisoner. The first time I weep for you, my skin splits. Here and here, these two bumps of flesh birthing new bone. I had never considered antlers, though immolation crossed my mind. Blood rivers down from my mortar tube wounds and paints me Tatriz patterned. Each time I weep again for you, my antlers grow longer and sprout new comrades. Within a day, they have reached the ocean. While I continue to weep until my forehead longs to split again, squid trace my antlers with their tentacles. They are looking for the way home. Moving along with my antlers, the squid interrupt a Coast Guard ship patrolling the blurred end of international waters, wrap themselves around the enforcers and begin to squeeze. I cannot see, remaining as I am in my easy chair, but my antlers tell me that the deaths were painful. Meantime, my antlers have reached the Mediterranean. Today, it is dry. Along its floor, long repressed creatures skulk, scowling at their first sun. When the scientists come from the neighboring nations, with scopes, the floor creatures make short work of them. I have been weeping and growing my antlers while I have been going about my days, shopping for groceries, selling my last organ to buy groceries, buying into an idea of time that will use me up and let me waste. And every time I see or hear or speak a letter of the alphabet or breathe or instruct my muscles to motion, I weep for you. Every time I weep for you, my antlers grow and grow, each a vein pulsing with the rush of my own blood. They grow back onto the coast and beyond. I am at this point unable to move for the weight of them until finally they stop, though I weep ceaseless. Until finally it takes only the smallest twitch of my head to jut them upwards into your prison guard's two lungs, depriving it at last the privilege of breath. The prison guard dies and no one motions a muscle to stop it from dying. I stop weeping and cry. My antlers split and enter every keyhole and burst them open like a pomegranate. And all of us weep ourselves antler enough to do the same tomorrow. My weapons goring a path to die in my father's two arms. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Peach Mag and all of the wonderful team for putting this together. This has been wonderful. I have one more poem. I never want to end, so I won't. Like improv comedy, I will go on and on and on and on forever, and not metaphorically either. I will not live on in the words of those who remember me, or in the records held by the murderous state, or in the posthumously published collected volume of my unsent nudes. I will not live on in the freedom my descendants find in their newly liberated land. I will not remain alive so long as my poetry is printed, nor will I be a thing of this world in the flowers which sprout from my rotten corpse, discarded somewhere nobody visits, because that chill you get, that people say is a person walking over your grave, I get that all the time. I'll be buried somewhere people visit constantly, Times Square, Whole Foods, Roosevelt Street on First Friday. I'll be an attraction and everyone will know who I was, except they'll know who I am. Because I remind you, I will very literally not end. I'm going to insist on existing materially. I'm going to have them transfer my consciousness into a Muppet, Fozzie, or Gonzo, or that little twink, Beaker. I would also accept life as a frog or a spider. as long as I can breathe, as long as I can breathe clean air, as long as there is clean air to breathe, and there will be, as long as I can breathe the clean air that's filling up all the negative space between the people in my newly liberated land, which I'll take into my lungs, which I'll somehow have. And despite the fact that Gonzo canonically does not have nostrils, citation Muppets in Space, 1999, directed by Tim Hill, I will have nostrils. I will be a thing somebody could relate to, could kiss, could touch in our newly liberated land, where maybe then I'll finally be buried. And people will be walking over my grave, not because I'm famous as the first successful human to Muppet transplant, but because our newly liberated land is newly liberated, free for anybody to move through, for anybody to walk in, to touch, to breathe the good, clean air through their lovely, stupid, awe-inspiring nostrils. And they'll be strolling through the best air they've ever tasted, the best ground they've ever strolled on, holding them up like balloons, and they won't even know I'm 6 feet beneath them, still never ended, my lips pursed up towards my brand new ceiling, my unreticent lungs pulling deep while I blow, blow, blow. Give them a little support, a little breeze, and I hope my breath won't stink when I'm dead. There's no way to know, as science has no precedent, and my ancestors are keeping their mouths closed, which maybe I should too, as this poem is getting pretty long, but come on. Isn't this just something? Doesn't it just set your blood free? Can't you just feel that earth beneath your feet, that air between your teeth? I think we're getting somewhere. I really think we just might be. How could I stop now? How, oh lungs, nostrils, heart like a second chance at life, oh world that holds me even while it kills me, oh liberated home at last, land, oh something more than nation, oh something less than dream, oh could I ever stop? Thank you.
Holy shit, that was so good. On my bucket list now is to see Fargo perform in real life. That was phenomenal. I don't know how you were able to translate that to Zooms as well as you did, especially with your cat walking across the computer, just completely not missing a beat at all. You guys must have practiced together, honestly. Thank you, Fargo. Before I say goodbye to everyone, Jacob has an announcement to make, and it's not that he has a girlfriend.
Hey everybody, that was amazing. I just want to say, beautiful, amazing reading. Make sure that you, everyone watching, donate either to the readers or to the mutual funds and bail funds and other places that they ask for donations to be sent. You know, there's a lot of labor and work that goes into the stuff that we're doing, that writers do, and oftentimes it feels like it goes unpaid. But if you have some money to send places, please do. So here's my announcement. In 2018, at the launch of the season 2 yearbook, kind of an important event happened, which was that John McCain died, and Liz Bowen announced it live during her reading because she got a notification on her phone about it. We have another event, right, that happened maybe 50 minutes ago that I want to bring up. It's not quite as big, but poets, I think it's something that we are all thinking about lately. The Poetry Foundation announced that Don Scher is stepping aside as editor-in-chief of the Poetry magazine. So this is kind of huge news for us, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody got to hear that before, you know, they maybe missed it. So I'm going to kick it back to Rochelle. Just wanted to let everybody know. Rochelle, it's all you.
So this reading was so fucking good because of how talented our 6 poets are that I didn't even, you know, miss the IRL features of readings that we normally put on until this moment when Jacob announced that Don Scher is stepping down, because I feel like the crowd would have erupted with applause, and you know, all the white girls would be like, woo! So on that positive note, thank you all so much for coming. Please donate to the mutual aid funds, bail funds, and organizations that our 6 poets have requested, or tip them on Venmo and PayPal. Like Jacob said, just want to reiterate, it takes a lot of labor to be a writer, especially to be a writer right now, and to be able to be creative. And, you know, among all of the economic challenges that everyone is facing, if you have just a couple bucks, it really goes a long way if you tip someone on Venmo. And yeah, thank you all for spending your Friday evening with us. We had so much fun, and yeah, love you guys. Have a great night. Have a good weekend, TGIF. Mwah.